Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. Today we are looking at, I'd like to share with you, this is the bed assembly that we removed from the 1950 Ford F47 pickup truck. So in a couple other previous videos we shared with you where we had the truck, it was partially assembled, the bed was just sitting on the frame of the truck. And then we shared with you the disassembly and then raising the cab off of the frame and on a dolly and ready for body work. So just want to share with you the bed and basically what we've seen or what we see, and then what our client would like or would expect. So basically the other garage decided it was going to be an easier task for the floor without giving the client an option. Rather than doing the oak strip floors or pine strip floors like it should have, they decided to do a plywood floor. So obviously we're going to remove the plywood floor, but we have a couple of issues that are going on. So basically, if the camera comes in a little bit closer, we can see there's paint on the outside, but on the underside. So obviously this is below the tailgate, because obviously we have the cab standing up on its end. So what we see on the floor is the end of the cab that would meet, the end of the bed that meets the cab. And then this is the tailgate. So as we bring it down, this would be the back of the truck. You can see the tail lights there on the end. So this is the rear section, and the bumper will be below this. It's kind of a little bit disheartening because you can see all the brackets and all of your main structure. That was all sandblasted and stripped at one time, but it did not receive any kind of treatment. So and then we got some funny little way of putting hardware in where they put it on an angle, like 45-degree angle. I'm not really sure what's going on here. There's a broken bracket, but not picking it apart. Just it's an observation where we look at this and we go, wow, that's just not done right. So the scary thing is, when this bed was sitting on the truck, the client or anybody that would look at the truck would get the impression that, wow, this truck is really close to being finished. But unfortunately, when you have, like, the side panels were painted, but you can see this is the whole bottom edge of the bed side of the truck. And as you go along, I guess I'm in the camera person's way, as you go along, you can see there's absolutely no primer, epoxy. We go all the way down. This is all bare metal. And then we have, so no protection on bare metal. So we'd want to put, once this is all stripped to bare metal, is you would like to have a two-part epoxy to seal the steel. Same thing as these cross rails that are the main supports. Every one of them has been sandblasted and then just left untreated. And you can see all the rust that's been collected on them, and then rust obviously forming in the sides and all the way around. So not having any protection on the inside sills all the way around, and that's facing the elements down the road. So basically we knew we were going to remove it anyway, so we're going to have to disassemble it. We'll re-sandblast all of the bare metal to take the steel, the rusted surfaces off, and then we'll properly do it with epoxy. We'll treat it with an epoxy, a prime, and then a paint. So there's the metal part, and then we come to the fenders. There's some glare. I think it's better to come onto this fender. So they're a good quality fiberglass fender on the rear, on both rear fenders. So we talked before about the lack of finishing and a lot of runs in the black paint, and quite wavy. And then when you come to the bottom side, this is the untreated, all of the edges, if you follow along. All of the bottom edges have absolutely no protection or adhesion material on the fiberglass whatsoever. So it doesn't even look like it's been sanded. So they sanded the outside, and then they just sprayed some black paint over top of the resin. And then there's lots of runs, and that's probably part of the reason why they had so much difficulty trying to lay the paint, is there's a lot of runs and hangers in the wheel well. Basically there's chunks that kind of laid down. So what we'll do is, after these fenders are removed, is we'll sand all of that black paint off. We'll sand it down properly. We'll apply a high quality gray primer, that will adhere to the fiberglass, and then it gives us a bonding agent, and then we'll begin the body work by block sanding, applying smoother where needed because there's some wavy spots in the natural forming of the fiberglass. It's not perfectly straight. So we'll be working on those fenders once we get the bed sides closer. So just a brief look at the bottom or the back half of that pickup truck. And this is the Ford, and then I think the camera can pick it up on this angle, just the glare on the window. Because when we talk about having runs in the paint, and then, you know, you can see we've got bubbling here, and then this is a perfect spot here where you can see the runs and there's big bubbles. So it's supposed to be a single stage black paint, but we've got clear. So there's some issues going on where I think they've tried to put clear over top to make it shinier perhaps. We're really not sure. So we'll remove that product that's on the fenders, and we'll prime them properly. So we'll share another video later once we have the bed disassembled and the components laid out. We'll continue to share with you the progress on this truck. So it's a 1950 Ford F47 short bed truck. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.